Hey there, Lions faithful. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, your go-to spot for every electrifying update and insider buzz from Detroit's Gridiron Warriors. If you're as hungry for Lions news as I am, go ahead and smash that like button, and subscribe to Lions News Fan Report so you never miss a beat. Today, rumors are swirling online that a familiar name might be making a comeback in Honolulu Blue. But could it really be Darius Slay stepping back onto the field? Or is there something even more surprising at play? Stick with me, because what we're uncovering isn't what you expect, and the implications are massive for both the roster and the salary cap. Aidan Hutchinson, our breakout defensive star, who endured that gruesome broken tibia and fibula last October, shocked everyone this week when he dropped a three-word bombshell. "I'm fully cleared." He made that announcement while walking into the team's training facility ahead of OTAs, electrifying social media feeds with clips of his confident stride. But eagle-eyed fans quickly noted that his repaired leg still looks leaner than before, leading to whispers. Could this mean he's pacing himself to avoid re-injury? Is it possible that his explosiveness has yet to fully return? Let's rewind for context. Hutchinson exploded onto the scene as a rookie, racking up 28.5 sacks and 65 quarterback hits over his first 3 seasons. Even in limited action last year, he notched 7.5 sacks in just 5.5 games, a performance that cemented his status as a game-changer. When he went down on October 13th, it felt like Detroit lost its defensive heartbeat. Fast forward 7 months, and he's back in shorts and cleats, grinding through cutting drills and lateral shuffles. Some insiders believe he's ahead of schedule on strength tests, but they're still waiting on those final agility metrics before greenlighting full contact. While the excitement around Hutchinson's return is undeniable, a fresh wave of contract chatter has taken over Lions' social feeds. Spotrac estimates that Hutchinson's next deal could start around $30 million per season, but with peers like Myles Garrett and Max Crosby banking north of $35 million, his camp might push for even more. Could Detroit really commit that kind of cash to a player straight off a major injury? Fans are wondering if the front office will fast-track an extension to lock him in, or if they'll drag talks into training camp to leverage performance bonuses and incentives. And here's where the twist comes in. That clickbait about Darius. It looks like a smokescreen. Every headline shouting, "Slay is back," is really pointing to Hutchinson's imminent availability. But in the depths of discussion boards, a darker theory has emerged. Some are speculating he might be cut altogether. With roughly $17 million in cap space tied to his 5th-year option, could the Lions decide the financial risk outweighs the reward? Is it possible that a surprise roster move this summer sees Hutchinson shown the door, clearing room for younger, cheaper pass rushers? Those conspiracy threads are firing up hot takes. Why risk $30 million on a leg that still isn't 100%? Asked one skeptical fan. Another countered, "No way Detroit lets their franchise pass rusher walk. This is his home." Some believe the Lions' decision hinges on one final medical evaluation scheduled for late June. Could that exam be the tipping point between a blockbuster extension, a holdout, or a shocking release? Meanwhile, rival teams are lurking. Word on the street is that both the Vikings and Packers have quietly checked in with Hutchinson's agent, gauging interest should he hit free agency. Could this injury return saga spark a bidding war? Fans are marking calendars asking, will Detroit blink first, or will they unleash the offer that keeps their defensive linchpin in Motown? As we await that seismic announcement, be it an extension, a cut, or an all-out bidding war, it's clear one thing. Aidan Hutchinson's comeback story is not just about returning to play. It's about redefining what the Detroit Lions are, willing to risk to build a contender. Could this be the defining moment that sets the tone for the entire franchise's next chapter? All right, before we dive into the final twists of this saga, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Lions News Fan Report so you never miss an insider scoop on Detroit's fiercest Warriors. Picking up where we left off, the critical June evaluation looms large. Sources whisper that Hutchinson will undergo a battery of high-intensity field tests, resisted sprints, multi-directional cone drills, even full-speed one-on-one rep sessions against veteran offensive tackles. If he passes with flying colors, that will almost certainly trigger a clause in his 5-year option guaranteeing his 5th-year salary and pave the way for a long-term extension. But the plot twist? One insider claims the Lions inserted an out in the paperwork. If he fails any single agility or power threshold, they can void that guarantee and restructure his deal into a conditional, performance-driven contract. Could this mean the Lions are hedging all their hopes on one day's worth of results? Is it possible they're ready to pivot on a dime if Hutchinson's output isn't pristine? Meanwhile, the rumor mill churns with speculation that Detroit's front office has been quietly fielding calls from rival executives. The Minnesota Vikings allegedly kicked the tires on a trade package centered around draft capital for Hutchinson. Imagine swapping a high second-round pick plus a role player for a pass rusher who's been dominant when healthy. Could the Lions really entertain that? Others suggest the Green Bay Packers, desperate for an edge-of-their-seat defensive playmaker, are prepared to sweeten their 2026 draft haul. If those whispers hold water, Hutchinson might find himself at the center of the league's most sensational mid-summer drama. Will Detroit stand its ground, or will it cash in on a star coming off injury? Let's talk salary cap fallout. Locking Hutchinson into a deal north of $30 million per year would eat up a massive chunk of Detroit's space they'll need to retool the offensive line and shore up depth at cornerback. Conversely, cutting him loose would free up immediate cap relief but leave a gaping hole in a defense that ranked 3rd in opponent quarterback rating when he was on the field. Which scenario yields the greater long-term upside? Some front office strategists argue that devoting large resources to one player limits roster flexibility and could hamstring team construction. Yet others counter that elite pass rushers are the lifeblood of championship defenses, and you simply pay the premium. On the locker room front, Hutchinson's emotional capital can't be overstated. Teammates rave about his leadership during rehab, the countless hours he spent mentoring rookies, running walkthroughs with the defensive line group, even volunteering at youth clinics in Detroit. Insiders say his presence alone elevates morale, reminding everyone what championship mentality truly looks like. Could his off-field impact factor into the franchise's calculus? It wouldn't surprise me if Dan Campbell and the coaching staff lobby hard for keeping him, making the case that leadership quality often transcends pure physical metrics. Of course, the narrative isn't complete without the fans' fervent voices. In thread after thread, Lions Nation debates the high-stakes gamble. "I'm all for paying Hutch the max. This is our identity," one supporter declared. Another fired back. "He's great, but not at the expense of fielding a well-rounded roster. Spread the wealth." Such polarizing takes underscore just how pivotal this decision will be, not only for one player's future, but for the entire trajectory of Detroit's quest for Lombardi gold. As training camp creeps closer, key, your eyes peeled for that seismic news drop. Will it be a blockbuster extension announcement, a stunning release, or perhaps a high-profile trade that shakes the division to its core? Whatever unfolds, it will reverberate across the NFL and define the Lions' off-season narrative. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you back the Lions going all in to lock down Aidan Hutchinson with a franchise-altering payday? Or do you believe Detroit should wield caution, perhaps exploring a trade or restructuring his deal to safeguard roster depth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read your passionate takes and debate with you in Lions Nation. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give us a big thumbs up, share this video with fellow Detroit fans, and don't forget to subscribe to Lions News Fan Report for more breaking rumors, insider analysis, and the unfiltered Lions coverage you crave. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time with the latest news that keeps you ahead of the game.